Hi, and welcome back to CorefouradVentures. I'm Carol.
And I'm Laura.
And we're new to cruising. And one of the things that worried us about our first time cruise was what to expect on Embarkation Day. So today we are going to share with you everything that we learned about Embarkation Day so that you know what to expect on your first cruise.
Our first tip today is to complete your cruise line's online check-in. Most of the cruise lines do have the ability to check in online a few days before your cruise. Do it. It will make everything go much smoother and easier. You'll know ahead of time if there's anything extra you need to be bringing with you, and you'll get onto the fun a whole lot sooner.
So one of the things that you'll do during the online check-in process is pick a check-in time. This is the time that you are scheduled to arrive at the cruise port, and they're spaced out throughout the day to help avoid some of those long lines. Now, we recommend that you get the earliest check-in time that you can and then arrive to the cruise port a little bit before that time is set to start. This way that you can park your car, get dropped off, get your bags dropped off to the porter and through security before it is your time to check in.
And speaking of check-in, make sure you have all your documents ready before you get into the check-in line. Get your passport, your ID, and all of your cruise documents ready to go because you're going to need them. We like to keep ours in a neat folder so that everything's there and accessible at our fingertips when we go through the process.
One of the things that you may be surprised about is that you must put on a luggage tag for any of the bags that you are dropping off with the porter at the cruise port. You're going to get these luggage tags from the cruise line. They'll either mail them out to you ahead of time or they'll give you a file that you print off. We have luggage tag holders that we put ours in. It's just a little extra security, but you can also just fold it over and staple it to your bag. Now, when you are dropping off your bag, it is very important that you remember to tip your porter. They don't work for the cruise lines, they work for the cruise ports, and it is customary to give the porter $1 to $2 per bag for a tip.
So let's talk about your luggage. That checked luggage that you left with the porter is going to take a few hours before it gets to your room. So make sure you bring a carry-on bag with you that you can put all of the essential items that you might need on your first day in it. It can be anything like a duffel bag, a backpack, or even a small carry-on rolling bag.
So some of the things that you're going to want to put in this bag include all of those documents that we just talked about. Your passport, your ID, any of your cruise documents as well. Then think about medication. That is so important. If you need to take medication throughout the day, put it in your carry-on. Do not put it in your check bag. That goes for if you're flying as well. I mean, keep it on your person at all times. You may want to throw some over-the-counter medicine in there, whether it's Tylenol or seasickness medication. And if you are prone to motion sickness and you want to take some Dramamine, they recommend that you take that a couple hours, 1 to 2 hours before you get on the ship.
And of course you want to put in that bag anything you don't want to go through your checked luggage, such as your electronics, your chargers, your valuables and your jewelry, and any wine you're bringing on board. Don't put that in the checked luggage. It will probably get broken all over all your clothes.
Some other things to throw in your carry-on include some disinfectant wipes if you're going to wipe down anything in your cabin when you first get there. You want some hand sanitizer, a sweater in case you get cold, and if you are going to wear a cruise lanyard, which we actually recommend that you do, it's so easy, bring that along with you because you're going to get your cruise card at check-in.
And think about what you want to do on that first day. Are you someone who wants to go to the pool or the spa right away? In that case, you're going to want to bring your cover-up and swimsuit, maybe even your towel clips, some sunscreen, your flip-flops, things like that. You also want to pack one extra outfit in that carry-on in case your luggage takes a little while to get there, and the things you need to freshen up for dinner that night, like your toiletries and makeup, and maybe even some wrinkle releaser so that you can get any wrinkles out of those clothes from your travel day.
So these are all great things to put in your carry-on bag, but don't forget you're going to be carrying that through the ship until you can get into your cabin, and that can take some time. So don't overpack so that it's too heavy for you to carry around, or consider bringing a roller bag instead. Our next tip for Embarkation Day is to be patient. There's going to be a lot of people trying to board the ship all at the same time, and it's going to take a while. Listen to what the cruise line is telling you to do. They will walk you through every single step. Be kind and polite to others. You'll all get on board eventually. Also, you're going to be waiting there in the cruise port for a while, so you'll want to bring something to keep yourself entertained, whether that's a tablet, a cell phone, download some movies, get a book. Don't depend on Wi-Fi or cell phone reception in the cruise port because you may not be able to access that.
All the cruise lines do a great job of labeling everything well and giving you signs and directions on how to get on the ship and go where you're supposed to. Make sure you follow those. Pay attention to all of that. It will really make for a much smoother embarkation.
Another tip that we have for you to prepare for embarkation day is get to know your ship's layout. You can go online to any of the cruise lines and look at the deck plans for the ship that you're going to be on. I recommend that you get on there ahead of time and look at where your cabin is and see how to get from your cabin to the main dining room or the pool deck or the theater. Any of the places that you're going to go, you can check that out ahead of time. It'll help you feel more comfortable on embarkation day.
And take advantage of early boarding if that's a possibility on your ship. Most cruise lines do offer some kind of early boarding, and it can be really nice to get on board and look around to all of the most popular areas before they get overcrowded on embarkation day.
The next tip is to make sure that you have a plan for embarkation day. Know going into it, what are you wanting to do? Do you want to take an entire tour of the ship? Do you want to spend your entire day at the pool deck? If you know what you want to do, you can plan for it and bring along the things that you need. Also, a great idea is to think about where you are going for dinner that evening. Are you going to go to the main dining room or the buffet? Or a great tip is to schedule some specialty dining on the very first night. It kicks your cruise off in a big way, and they're a little less crowded than they are later on in the week.
It is very important to stay hydrated, so we recommend that you bring a reusable water bottle on board. It's great on embarkation day when you're exploring the ship, and you'll find lots of uses for it throughout the cruise.
Next up is safety first. Every cruise line is required to have every single passenger attend a mandatory safety drill before they can leave the cruise port. They take this super duper seriously. It's called muster, and you have to do this on your first day. We actually recommend that you do it as soon as you get on board the ship. A lot of times nowadays, it involves watching a video in your cabin and then checking in at a muster station. It's important that you know what to do to protect yourself if something unexpected happens when you're out in the ocean.
And make sure to download the Cruise Lines app before you get to the port. Most of the major cruise lines do have an app that you're going to want to have access to while on board, and it's much easier to do this at home on your personal Wi-Fi. There's all kinds of things that you can do on these apps, including checking the itinerary and activities on board, seeing all of the port information, as well as making reservations for things. So you're going to want to have access to this. It's an easy way to see everything going on board. And you are probably going to need to put your phone into airplane mode, but don't worry, you're going to still have access to this app while on board.
And last but not least, enjoy the sail away. This is such a special moment on embarkation day. Most cruise lines have a sail away party where you can get your dance and your drink on. And if that's not your speed, you can find quiet spaces as well. But do not miss that beautiful, breathtaking scene as you sail away from port and see that city skyline in the background.
Remember to check the guidelines and recommendations for your specific cruise line as they may vary. Embarkation day sets the tone for the entire vacation, so make the most of it.
Thank you so much for watching today. That's going to wrap up our tips for a successful embarkation day, especially for first-time cruisers. If you found this video helpful in any way, we would love it if you liked or subscribed to our channel for more cruise content.
And if you have any tips that we didn't mention, we'd love to hear it in the comments section below. That's going to do it for Core 4 Adventures. Thanks so much. See you next time. Bye!